undercover, just under. Bells are ringing, people singing, rice is throwing, flower bringing. Ting-a-ling-a-ling, the honeymoon is when we going, and I take you to a place that you didn't even know exists. What's your wish? Did I have done it for power and purpose? Shot is in the basement party, turn it to the greatest party. Never see my baby coming. Just once we went up, and my love a tripping. Now I feel my body drifting. Baby girl, she got me lifted, my tripping.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. On the field today are two middle linebackers who will need to make plays in the pass and run game. It's Johnson's Chiefs going up against Cushing's Texans. With that, we're up to NRG Stadium in Houston as we say hello to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Tonight we've got an AFC matchup on tap between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. It's the former Texas Longhorn, Jamal Charles, with a carry. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
What's good with it, man?
Fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Shit, chilling, man, chilling. Where you from? You from Houston?
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second
right
down.
on, right on. I'm from California, man. I'm originally from Freeport, though.
Here's Smith. Throwing
good defense.
Middle, but it's incomplete. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. And a look at this offensive unit now, and you see who we have highlighted, partner.
Jamal Charles, one of the most exciting, productive running backs in the NFL.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Throwing on third down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And it brings up 4th down.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
What's wrong with your shit? Just send me a friendly quick.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
I got some out in Dallas, now I'm smelling like LA. Met it from Miami to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly, left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti, I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis, like they from Oakland. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses, literally I'm lean. Mix it like a bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's sunny, California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga, and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me up Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota. And
I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today. There's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Rivers' Chargers. They're getting close to kickoff in America's finest city, San Diego. So let's head out west and check in with our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, two AFC teams set to do battle as we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Diego Chargers. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Le'Veon had 31 touches in Week 7. He had 21 carries on the ground, Charles, but also 10 receptions for 68 yards.
Is there anything he can't do well on the football field?
I don't think so.
He is pretty impressive, isn't he? Because I saw him reshape his body after being at Michigan State. He was a bigger, thicker power back. And now he does it all. Can shift, can move, catch the football, and he's picking up the slack too because D'Angelo Williams, who picked up the slack for him earlier this year, he's out with an injury.
And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And fourth down coming up.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. That'll bring up second down. And we'll take a look quickly at the San Diego defense.
Corey Legion is rapidly making a name for himself as a defensive tackle. Knows how to penetrate upfield and disrupt plays in the backfield.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. Brought in by Coates. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. On second down, it's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Here's Roethlisberger.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Fourth down. Here's Roethlisberger. That's caught at the 2. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown from 6 yards away. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Oh, they get to the football. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 40. Past the 20. And he brings this all the way back. So forget 7-0. It's 6-2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Time to get a glance at the offensive starters, and one of those isn't J.J. Watt, but it's Derek Watt that we talk about.
Nothing wrong with being little bro here. A starting fullback at the University of Wisconsin. Not many teams are utilizing this position in the NFL, but he fits perfectly. Will be a great lead blocker and can catch the ball out of the backfield.
And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Ryan Shazier ran so fast at his combine that many people thought someone actually ran for him. He's a linebacker who ran sub 4.4, and he uses that speed to make plays all over the field.
On third down, Rivers gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He was looking for Antonio Gates that time, and it's third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Rivers caught by Gates, left side. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Gordon had 3 touchdowns in Week 7, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air, and that's 10 now on the season for him, Charles. He didn't have any last year, remember.
We're seeing the Melvin Gordon that they drafted in 2015, and what we're seeing is the total game of Melvin Gordon. He got touchdowns running the ball. He caught the ball for another touchdown. He's doing very well in the new style of offense in San Diego.
And Tyrell Williams, not a household name, but he's starting to come onto the scene. 2 weeks ago, he had a 100-yard game against the Raiders, and in Week 7, 140 yards against the Falcons.
Just another average day in the NFL for an undrafted free agent from Western Oregon. How about how he's stepping up and filling the breach left by the injury of Keenan Allen?
Here's Gordon, and he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. Melvin Gordon punching it in from a yard away. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Flush to his right, goes underneath for Bell. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run.
Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And now San Diego getting set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Fresh set of downs here.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout. Six yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And underneath here to McCluster. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So they're operating in the red zone.
Ready? Let's go. Ready.
One man in the backfield is Gordon. Now Rivers. This will be caught at about the 6. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Travis Benjamin from 4 yards out. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Roethlisberger to throw, eluding the pressure right. And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The Steelers call here on the Aussie, Australian-born Jordan Berry now to punt this one away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's caught on the right side. Williams. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the... Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the red zone now, Rivers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
Rivers to throw it. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Lambeau will put this one through. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half.
There goes Melvin Gordon. The 30, 10, and all the way in. touchdown, San Diego. Melvin Gordon, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And Green with a catch left side. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now Roethlisberger escaping the pressure right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. This is caught inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll lead here to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Roethlisberger flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
And now San Diego getting set to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker.
Clowning them boys, making them quick.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest.